once I tried this second, third investigation, when we started just getting nothing but words that are relevant to my questions, relevant to the history, the location. I know some other bigger organizations have taken notice from some of Phil's inventions, and it's really helped us. But I really like the Mel meter in that how Gary designed this. It's different from the tri-field meter that can really go off by anything. I mean, lightning, friggin' solar storms, the sun, lightning. He's designed the Mel meter to be more accurate to spirit energy and our energy. So I really like that device, and we really lead out our investigation a lot of times using that device, because when that thing starts triggering and going off through the EM field that's being generated by the antenna, I demonstrate a lot how close you have to be to that antenna, either with a camera, battery, or your own hand for that thing to trigger. And not only can it detect spiritual energy, but once we get readings, we'll switch hands, use our digital recorder, start getting responses. You know what I mean? It's like it's almost like a fish finder. We go out there, we're blind, we can't see them all the time. This thing starts picking them up. Then we start switching gears. All right, guys, let's drop our nets. And then we switch over and we start communicating. I love that device. That's my favorite. I really love the thermal imaging camera. We just got a really cool capture at Halesbar Dam with that. I really like that because it really eliminates dust and stuff like that too. So it's really accurate with picking up different anomalies and stuff like that, energies, stuff like that. So,
do you have a least favorite?
My least favorite piece of equipment? I don't know. We've tried a lot of stuff in the past. It's not really much that I don't like it. I like the creativity that's gone into the invention part, the technical aspects. So it's not like I don't like them. I just like the efforts in trying to use these pieces of equipment to collect data in a field that is so unknown and unexplained. That's why I'm open to trying anything, but not real big on the Ouija board.
Yeah. Well, why is that? Do you think it brings in too much, like say, negative and demon? Is that it, or what is the reason?
I think it's cool. It's a cool thing. It's stereotyped as a game by, I think, Milton Bradley. You go buy them at Kmart. It's been around us. I mean, it's I just went to an 80s party and they had a Ouija board set up. It's iconic in our it's iconic in our past. It was a fad. But it is a communication device. You got to look at that. That if you're in a place and you got to remember, as children, do you remember when you got with your friends and you sat around, you were 12, 13 years old, you were too young to drink beer, you couldn't go out, you didn't have money, so you had to stay home and have fun that way and find adventures in your own home. So what did you do? Grab a damn Ouija board. I remember the first time I used an Ouija board. I was in Chicago. I was like 14. I was with like a few girls, a couple of my friends, and we all sat down in this girl's basement. And what I first noticed using that Ouija board is how once the Ouija session started, how everybody's demeanor, how everybody's attitude now became focused on communicating with the dead. Even though that we had a board game that was bought at a department store and a plastic, whatever they call it, stylus or whatever, even though we had that, I saw the power of what people, kids, how they really wanted to try and communicate with a spirit. There's a part in all of us, skeptics, disbelievers, I don't give a crap who. There's a part in all of us, children, adults, that want to communicate, that want to have that experience.
Right.
And when you're set to have that experience with an Ouija board when you're 13, whatever, you become very cognitive of trying to have that sign, that communication. And being put at that emotional level, that isn't just noticed by other people, your friends. That is noticed. If there's spirits there, they notice that you are now in a state of mind that wants to communicate. And when you're in that state of mind, yeah, it can draw in stuff. Things can happen. When I did that session, weird things happened, and it can draw in spirits. But why are we so afraid of them all the time? Why are we so afraid of them all the time? I know there's good and bad in this material world. I lock my door at night. I don't want some crazy dude jumping in here and hitting me over the head with some hammer while I was sleeping. You know, I mean, they pass over on the other side too. You know, but sometimes it's cool to try and communicate with them. There's good spirits too.
How do you feel about seances?
Seances? I think they're cool. I think seances are similar to doing a group Ouija board session. You get a lot of people that in unison are now put at an emotional state of mind, trying to eliminate some senses. You know, you shut your eyes. You know, now you're more focused on trying to communicate. And I think seances are similar. I like them. You know, I think seances are cool. You know, I think seances are cool to do with EVP sessions.
And you did one time with the ITC too, didn't we? Up in Virginia City.
Yeah. Yeah. We did that in Virginia City. Remember, we all gathered around and did that. Yeah.
And I remember that. I thought it was funny because I think it was Dave. It might have been you, but I think it was Dave was taunting a little bit. Oh, come on! He was taunting the spirits, and the girl sitting next to him got tapped in the head. He was saying, "Come on now." But I thought that was kind of funny. Now I got more questions, Zach, and I promised that in the chat room they're going crazy. Somebody wants to ask you, please come to Wisconsin. Please, Wisconsin is the place to come.
Oh, I love cheese. I love cheese.
Then you got somebody saying she wanted to come to Stanley, and you're all sold out. When are you going to do us? Another Stanley event? That's it. And then you got one coming up in Stanley, or I know.
Yeah, I think that's till November. That's a while.
And then you got a 17-month-old fan. Somebody wanted me to tell you that. Well, yeah, and you know Josie.
17-month-old fan.
Well, it's like watching you on TV, and then someone got an A on a paper they wrote about you and said to tell you she wrote about you in her English. She wrote about you on her English paper in your show, and she got an A. How cool is that?
Wow! Congratulations. That's
all right, I'm gonna slide a question in here. The Amityville Horror House is for sale. Would you ever investigate it? Would you consider buying it?
I'd investigate anything. I don't want to buy it because I love my house in Vegas. I don't want to move there. It gets cold in the winter, but yeah, I've heard a lot about that house. I would love to investigate it. Absolutely. I think we looked into that before.
Yeah, they're just wanting to sell it now. I don't know that they're even interested in letting people just come in and investigate it.
Someone should just buy it, make a museum of it, and then they can come in and have investigations. Just get a open public.
You can just come to my house in Vegas and have investigations.
Oh, you better have
whoa. Zach, do you not realize how stalkerish your fans can be?
Yeah.
Be careful in what you say, honey.
No.
I'm not trying to offend any of your fans. I'm just saying.
Yeah, he has some great fans.
Yeah.
He knows
I
that.
got the best fans in the world, man. Award-winning fans. They're awesome, man. We're Ghost Hunters fans. We love them.
What about Alcatraz? Didn't you go there?
No, we haven't been there yet. I think they wanted like $1 million in gold bars to investigate it. And, you know, come on. We'd like to investigate that, absolutely. I just love islands and places that are surrounded by water or have anything to do with hydroelectric power, the dam, Hales Bar Dam, Ophelia. You know, I love going to places that have really good conductors of energy fields. And I love islands and those kind of places because I know how active they tend to be because of that. And that's definitely a place I'd love to go. I love San Francisco. I love going to Fisherman's Wharf and the crabs down there that you can eat. I just want to go there. I love it there.
Have you been to White's Island over in England?
White's Island?
Yeah. White
I've
Island.
never heard of that.
That has super activity. I've sent you to a few places, believe it or not, some friends and I, and There's a couple I've sent you to, and she let you guys know about Preston way back when. And so let me tell you, Whites, I'll do a little research and send it you guys' way. But I know you recently went to a location in Utah. It's outside of Salt Lake, a little town called Tooele. Yeah. What'd you think about that place? It's a hospital. Well, it's an abandoned hospital. Yeah, half of it is still retirement. But you was there recently, right?
Yeah, we were. And it's called Asylum 49 now. You know, when we showed up to that location, and this episode I think will be premiering in mid-June, this was a weird place. Because when we showed up, I thought it was just it sat on the grounds of an old poor farm, and then was a retirement home and whatnot, hospital. And when we showed up, we made a weird discovery that the building wasn't just empty with possible spirits occupying it. Half of the building still had over 50 residents in the senior care facility, and that to me was kind of weird because when we showed up, we started hearing from some very credible sources about some serious type attacks, suspected attacks from dark forces, and were extremely demonic in nature, extremely demonic. And then we started talking to some of the nurses, and it was like we were in the movie The Wicker Man. You know, the nurses were scared to walk around in there, and I'm just thinking to my whole self, like, okay, you got some people at senior care facility, you got 50, residents that are last leg to their lives. The residents are seeing this stuff. The nurses are telling us that in one case, 2 nurses were at the nurse stand. They see one of the dark figures that they see all the time walk right by them, down the hall. They follow the dark figure, disappears through a door where one of the senior residents is living, goes through the door. The nurses run to the door. The door is locked, and it doesn't even lock. And they had to take the door off the hinges, get a maintenance guy. We interviewed everybody. Once they opened the door, the senior resident was found dead on the floor. That's scary. That's some scary shit right there, okay? And when we heard about that, we started, kind of digging deeper into this. And we found out that at that place, things always happen in threes. Residents die in series of threes. Things happen at 3 a.m. 333 started popping up everywhere. It was very weird. We used a device called a Jacob's Ladder in one of the rooms where 2 people were attacked. One woman appeared to be possessed, and there was an exorcism done in there. And mind you, everybody, listeners, this isn't a place where over 50 people live, seniors, seniors for care, the last leg to their life. It's like, what do we got here? We got 50 people on deck across the other world that are experiencing their ghost. It's like a ghost manufacturing plant, It was really weird. We walked away with some incredible friggin' findings. It was amazing. So yeah, thanks for that recommendation. It was a
no problem.
Location. Yeah,
it is, and I'm glad that you were able to experience it, because I travel a lot and I just fall upon places, and I went by myself there. There was an open group, and I had so much activity, I couldn't believe it. I actually did have an attack, the girl next to me, and I thought, okay, well,